we were getting ready to move. We were moving from state to state a few years ago. And so it was really stressful. We had all of the things to do, and we were trying to move, and I hear some people are believing for houses. And I don't like moving. I don't like it at all. It just does something. It really shakes you to the core when everything is out of place and you're moving from one place to another, and especially when you grow up in homes like I did, where everything was chaotic and everything was not stable, and when life isn't stable, it shakes you. And it really takes you back to, okay, where's your foundation? So as we were doing all the things, we were about halfway through the whole process. We had listed our house, we had packing the boxes, and actually we were a little bit more than halfway through. We were nearing the end, and there was several things that had to fall in line for us to actually close on the new house. And we had a timeline, and nothing was falling into place. And I was stressed to the max. Now, previous to this, I had learned how to abide. I had learned how to get into the river of God. I had learned how to wait on Him and be able to receive His love. So I was feeling it. I knew what that felt like. So when we were getting ready to move, I got out of the river. I got out of God's love. I got out of God's provision, and I stepped into self-sufficiency again. I got to take care of myself. And so I was driving down the road, and I'm talking to God. I'm like, okay, God, where are you? I spend time with you, but I don't feel you. I don't feel you right now. Because when you're abiding in God's love, even when you're going about your daily activities, you can feel Him. And that's where I want to be. I want to be in the river all the time. I want to be abiding in Him all the time, because that's the best place to be. That's where the peace is. That's where life flows, right? So I stepped out of the river and I stepped into self-sufficiency. And I was striving again. And as I was talking to the Lord and asking Him, I'm like, I need to feel you, especially right now. I'm stressed out. Why am I not feeling you? Why are you not stepping in? Why are you not making things work out? And I said, you know what He said to me? What you find your strength in becomes your God. I'm like, oh, I made myself my God. I became my own God. Even from a little girl, I became my own God because I had to make it happen, which separated me from Him. Because He was yearning for me to come to Him. Because He wanted to be my daddy. He wanted to provide the answers. He wanted to provide the solutions. But I stepped in, just like I always had. Now, see, I was in the river, so I could feel the difference. The river is an amazing place to be. But when you step out, you see, in Ezekiel 47, it says, remember when I said, there's a place where you get into the river and you swim. Picture that for a minute, okay? Picture the river down here. Picture it's flowing, and there's a place where we can get in deep enough to swim. Now, let me ask you a question. When you're in the river, toe deep, like I was doing, I was sticking my toes in, you can feel the current of the river, right? You can feel it. How about ankle deep? How about knee deep? How about hip deep? You can feel the current of the river. But when you get into the river and you are actually swimming, what happens? When you get into the river and you're actually swimming, guess what happens to the currents of life? the challenges of life. The currents and the challenges of life, you just kind of glide along. And it takes you to your next destination. It takes you to where you're going. It just carries you. The river, the love of God.